Hello and welcome to Cruella's Fur Coat in the week leading up to possibly Disney's biggest film in a long time. Of course, Beauty and the Beast coming out this Friday, and that's how we're going to start this week's news with the story which has been dominating headlines about Beauty and the Beast, unfortunately, to be honest with you, because, well, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but it is, of course, the big thing that LeFou is gay and is Disney's first gay character, and there's this exclusively gay moment. We've spoken about it in my review, which if you haven't seen, please go and check it out. It's spoiler free, and hopefully it's will get you even more excited with the film. But anyway, so this is the thing, and at least in my neck of the woods, people like the thing that people always now start conversation is, oh Joe, have you heard LeFou in Beauty and the Beast is gay? Like that's the thing that this film is now being, and it's what it's going to be known for, and that's just really unfortunate. You know, it's like that's its selling point now. It's not the fact that it is an amazing film. It's fantastic, and it's a really beautifully reimagined version of everyone's favourite fairy tale. And you know, it's like now it's gonna be the gay film, Disney's gay film, and it's getting all this bad press, and it's just not a great way for this film to be going into its first weekend. You know, of course. And it's not what the film should be defined for at all. And you're getting reports of places like Russia. Russia has completely put an age ban on it for 16 plus only. So, you have to be over the age of 16 to see Beauty and the Beast in Russia. How pathetic is that? How much of a that's just completely blown out of proportion. Like seriously, and. You've also got this cinema, there's a drive-through cinema in Alabama, in the deep south, which has completely just not going to show the film. I mean, I'm sure it's only a very small one cinema in Alabama, but you know, that's still making headlines, and it's like people are now going to be sceptical about taking their children to see Beauty and the Beast, which is completely not what Disney or anyone could have wanted or imagined. I mean, where do you put this down to? Was it the initial decision by Disney and by Bill Connon to make this a thing and make it a point and make it a not a major part of the film, but something that is focused on at least slightly, or is it the fact that that Bill Connon went out and said it he gave that interview with attitude, and he probably thought it wasn't even going to be noticed. It wasn't even going to be a big thing. Hopefully, that's how it should have happened. It didn't. Obviously, this is the world. It's still. Even though it is 2017, this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. But, you know, it's a thing, it's like really, really, you know, it's not a big thing in the film once you've seen it, and I think it would have been great to have had this film go out, no word said. I mean, it would have gone into a few reviews, I'm sure. It would have been a talking point, but it wouldn't have been massive, it wouldn't have been well known, and if Disney had never confirmed it, and then say, a few months down the line, Bill Connon does an interview, is like, oh, yeah, LeFou was gay totally all along. And then everyone's seen it, they've known how fantastic it is. They're not going to judge it then, but then, you know, now it's a real thing that the film's being defined for, and that's so unfortunate, and it's so unnecessary, and should not be happening. And I really just think it is unfortunate for this film, which hopefully is going to do well. People were saying it's going to hit $1 billion, it's going to hit $2 billion, it's going to be the one of the top highest grossing films ever. It's going to completely redefine films and a fairy tale films, and you can see what they can now do with this kind of genre piece. Is it going to happen? Also, how's it going to affect other films going forward? Is this going to be the first and only gay Disney character? You know, that would be a real setback. And, you know, what about Mulan? Mulan is coming out. Mulan's got all these issues about gender identity and things that hopefully they'd want to address in the future and in the upcoming adaptation. Will they? Will they not? Like, I mean, they just put LGBT characters into Once Upon a Time last year. That didn't particularly go anywhere, but maybe that's another sign of things to come. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether it has, you know, tainted your view of the film even before it's come out, because that's just ridiculous. So please let me know how you're thinking about this film and how excited you are to see it. Are you going this weekend? I'm going again, and I'm sure many of you are. So that's our first story, Beauty and the Beast. And next up, another of Disney's live action and musical adaptations coming up, Aladdin, is holding live open casting calls for its main two parts, for its leading roles of Aladdin and Jasmine. Like, I saw this news and I obviously missed the announcement that they were making an Aladdin musical. I mean, I was aware that there was a film called Genies, which apparently is completely separate to this. It's not at all about, it's not, well, it probably is about Aladdin, but it's not this film. And so this is the one directed by Guy Ritchie. You know, maybe I did remember it. Maybe I just completely forgotten about it. They're making so many of these things these days that, you know, they just kind of get swept under the radar. So this is Middle Eastern actors, though. Middle Eastern descent for these characters. Obviously, Aladdin and Jasmine are from the Middle East. They're from Agrabah, which is great that they're going out there for characters. The actors, it has to be aged between 18 and 24. Skewing a bit young there, Disney, but it's great to see that there's going to be some fresh new talent. These are going to be unknowns. I mean, look at Awali Carvalho. Look how fantastic she was at the Oscars. She was an unknown before Moana, and she's fantastic. She's so, you know, out there and is really taking this role and defining herself, and that's fantastic. So to get new people into the spotlight for Aladdin and Jasmine is going to be pretty fantastic. Rehearsals are taking place next month, April 2017. And this is fantastic. This turnaround is going to have to be phenomenally fast. I mean, it's March. Rehearsals in April. They're shooting in the UK. They're shooting here in the UK from July this year until January next year, 2018. It's a long shoot. Oh my God, that's a lot of months. I presume they're going to be at maybe Shepperton Studios. Disney likes to work at Shepperton Studios. They're doing Mary Poppins there right now. So that's fantastic. And you know, the thing is, it says on the casting call, you've got to be able to sing. Dancing is preferable. So of course, it's a musical. Literally, they're gonna make everything. They're gonna make all the big four in the next 4 years. You're gonna have Beauty and the Beast. You're gonna have Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Lion King literally coming out again. Within like they came out within 4 years of each other, 5 years of each other in the first place. They're coming out again. You know, they could have done in order, couldn't they? Could have done Little Mermaid first, but you know, let's not get into that. So yes, so Aladdin, that's exciting. If any of you do fit the description, Middle Eastern, between the ages of 18 and 25, and can apply, then go for it. Oh my God, that'd be such a career-propelling role for anybody to get, and that's a really exciting prospect for someone out there. Go ahead, apply. You may get lucky. Okay, so that's our second story. And third story of the day, week. What are we doing here? Disney News show. Third story of the week is about Bob Iger. Bob Iger, obviously the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. He's done amazing things, and he is moving out. He's going to be vacating his position in the near future, and he's looking to potentially run for president. I think this is fantastic, and I think Bob Iger is very well suited, actually, to potentially run for presidency in 2020. It's going to be 2020, right? I hope so. I hope I got that right. It is. Yeah, of course it is. So potentially running against Trump, and maybe he'd be going for the Democrats, and it's quite an exciting prospect. Look at the things he's done in terms of business for Disney. All the acquisitions he's made, the fantastic kind of restructuring of many departments to make them really propel forward and really get on with being great again. But obviously Michael Eisner was a great boss, but since Bob Iger started, there's really been a change in dynamic at Disney. I think that's fantastic. This is something that came up, though someone mentioned this to me. He's not the best at speaking. They were watching, I've not seen it yet, but I've not watched it recently, the Shanghai Disneyland opening. His speech potentially wasn't up to scratch, up to maybe the speaking of a president. Obviously, a big part of the job to be able to talk in front of a big crowd. So who knows? Maybe he needs to get some lessons in that in that department before he goes. I know he's great at talking at the D23 Expo. I swear I've seen lots of great videos, but that is again a very small crowd, maybe just a theatre full of people. Can't be that if you're doing the president. So that's the thing. But you know, he's gonna have to move out of his job, move out of the office, and make way for Tom Staggs. Tom Staggs is going to be taking over. I don't know if this is confirmed, but it's very widely believed. I think, I hope I've got this right, that Tom Sykes, obviously he used to run parks and resorts. He's been out of that job for a little while now, and he's been presumably prepping to take over the Walt Disney Company. So once that transition takes place, that'll leave a perfect time for Bob Iger to go ahead and to become president, maybe, who knows. And so yeah, that's an exciting prospect. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Would you think Bob Iger would be a good presidential candidate? Would you vote for him? Would you vote for Bob Iger if he ran against Donald Trump next election? Obviously I can't vote, but let's see. And what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought there. Anyway, that's our stories for this week. Beauty and the Beast is out on Friday. Please go and check out my review if you have not yet seen it. Again, spoiler free, you should be fine going in on Friday. Also, have you listened to the soundtrack? Your soundtrack came out this Friday the 10th. And if you're holding back on listening to that to give yourself the full experience of seeing it in the cinema, then good on you. I'd go that way. Well, I did. I did, and I would recommend it if you have the willpower to not listen. So that's the stories. And again, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am Joseph Worthington, and this is Cruella's Fur Coat. Be sure to subscribe for more Disney videos, and don't stay too long.